Yeah, welcome back. Happy to be home here after the long road trip. Um, yeah, tough road trip. One of the toughest that I remember from the pack, right? Playing those two schools, especially back-to-back nights, late game times. Just a good amount of adversity. Just a little too much for us to overcome in that second match, unfortunately. But a good opportunity for us this week. 2 long practice weeks is what stands out to me, right? We've had quite a few midweek matches, a lot of travel. So excited to just have a couple normal weeks, as if anything's normal, to just coach our team and reconnect to what we're best at, and get healthy and get after it. So here we go.
Again, when you look at this team, the way that you guys played, obviously on the road this year, you said it was a road trip that like no other.
Yeah.
Things about it that were different, and you started off with a really good win, versus UCLA, and then
Yeah. Yeah, it felt familiar, right? I think the back-to-back aspect can't be understated. I think us and Michigan will be the only schools to do that this year. So I think we've learned just the effect that has, right? So, yeah, that was probably the biggest challenge for us, right? Especially going 5 the first night, having to turn around and bounce back. But, yeah, but just a bunch of little things that add up, right? And so hoping that this week we can get kind of back to status quo with our health and with our systems, right? So that we can have a good shot against, I think, 2 teams that are improving pretty quickly in Indiana and Maryland. Again, back-to-back nights, right? So a chance to kind of make up for last weekend's performance.
Obviously, two different teams and two different strengths, but both very
Yeah.
good serving teams as
Yeah.
well. How do you just feel about the progress of your team in passing and servicing overall right
Yeah, not where we want to be, I would say. We've had to make some changes to our service receive unit based on personnel availability. And I thought we've had some creative solutions. Especially think Zeynep and Kate have responded really well. Sometimes passing the whole court with 2. We've recruited some non-service receivers into the formation at times in Lauren and Lydia, and they've done a nice job for us. But yeah, we'd like to get our full unit up and going here, and so we've learned some new tricks to get us out of some situations, which hopefully will serve us down the road. But certainly not kind of our most stable situation right now.
now? And about Lauren, too, just the way she has taken on just a bigger role right now, her
Yeah.
versatility. I know you've talked about what's going on for her right now.
Yeah, it just looks like the same Lauren that I've seen for 18, 20 months now. Just a great competitor. She doesn't care where you play or what time it is or what you're doing. Just put her in and let her go. And so what you've seen, I think, is a pretty good representation of her. A really nice all-around volleyball player, front row, back row. She's here for it competitively, and so we knew we'd need her, and we've needed her, and she's helped us out big in some moments to get us through. And so, yeah, giving us what she's got, we appreciate it.
do you have any update with McKenna? And it seems like they're saying that she's obviously close to coming back.
Yeah, she's done a little something every week. She's doing the work, and there's no doubt that she's given us what she's got, and we've got a plan to work her back into it. Hopefully, it comes to fruition. But she's got a lot of volleyball left here and beyond, and so we're trying to make wise decisions for her. And yeah, I appreciate the work she's doing, seen and unseen, to get herself back, and we're taking steps in the right direction.
Who in particular would you say that has grown the most, or tried to learn the most while she's been out?
Yeah, I think Julia Hanson certainly has had a large load for us offensively, and a higher volume of serve receive than maybe she's used to, and that's a big ask. And she's answered the call. We've got to keep her healthy and get her healthy. As we saw in the UCLA match, we lost her mid-match, and to her credit, she was back the next day. But yeah, we got to keep our guys fresh.
Keegan, how do you sort of balance the guys that finished the season? Big wins over Texas, and
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, we try and be sincere with it. We don't try and let me get after these guys. Hey. They obviously have a good time here. They're back here ready to work. The young people are really good at bouncing back, I'd say, right? And they do a nice job, right? No matter what happens on Saturday, Sunday, they recollect themselves, and by Monday, this is what we get to work with. So, yeah, they're resilient. These young guys are, and but yeah, we'd like to have a little stability, but we're in the wrong profession if you want that, I guess.
Do you have to take on those same traits as a coach?
Say again.
Do you have to take on those same traits as a coach game to game?
Yeah, I think I've got to you've got a bunch of different views of it, right? As a coach, you're looking at the week, the day, the year, the 5-year plan, right? So you're changing lenses quite a bit to kind of get a sense of where you're at, right? And you may not like where you're at in one lens, but when you zoom out, you feel pretty good about where you're at on the whole scale. So that's the challenge, knowing when to zoom in and when to zoom out, and how to make the weather for the day. I think is the challenge of where we're at.
I think there's more this year. Maybe there isn't, just as I watched, that there's more swings within matches too, where you win one set dominating, all of a sudden it's 24-14 the next set, whether it's good or bad, flip back and forth. And
Yeah.
if you think that's right, how do you try to either maintain momentum or shut off momentum?
Yeah, it's one thing I always tell the athletes is momentum only exists in the mind of the mentally weak, unfortunately, and we all have those moments where we can become mentally fragile, and then all of a sudden some magical force momentum comes into play. But I don't know, the math tells me that we point scored about 50%, we side out at about 58%, and so we're going to be flipping coins a lot, and there's going to be some close margins, and we'll win a set then lose a set, and until we can side out and have a more efficient offense, we're going to drag people into some of these matches where it's back and forth and there's runs, and it's good for fans and hard for coaches is what we got right now.
You might win a coin toss 6 times in a row, right?
Yeah, I'd rather not be flipping coins for our season, but we've got some strengths, we've got some weaknesses, and yeah, we're working.
You've mentioned a lot of parity coming up.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening. You've been in a lot of 5-set matches.
Yep.
Have you seen that prevalent in these games where these teams have been better and better and closer than you really thought?
Yeah, I've seen certain areas of the game that I think are better in our sport in general, right? The game is growing. I think serving has evolved from where it was 10, 15 years ago, we're serving at a rate that would have had us first in the Pac-12 in 2015, and now maybe we're fifth in the Big Ten. So just the level of play has gone up, the margins are getting thinner, and more and more games are going to be decided by small margins, I think.
Any little scouting report on the 2 opponents this week?
Yeah, I think about Indiana. First and second contacts, really strong, right? One of the most talented setters in the conference, one of the best young liberos in the conference. A big arm in their opposite, right? So some familiar themes, that stands out to me early. Maryland, always a tough defensive team, serving and defense, pretty well organized. And again, like I said, both teams share that they're improving. So, yeah, good challenge.
Anything else for Keegan?
With the long week of preparation, what are you looking forward to? I know a lot of times you do most of the work in the offseason, you come in and show training,
Yeah.
but if you can do anything to improve in like a long week of practice, what is it?
Yeah, just recommit to some of our team systems, as we've gotten stretched and put people in different positions, some of the structure has kind of fallen apart in terms of team systems, receiving and blocking especially, and that happens as you're making changes in the lineup as much as we are these last 2 weeks, but we got to get back to kind of our default package and how we do things. Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Just what you guys learned from the California trip? It's the first time you're playing as a Big Ten team.
Yeah, I mean, the road trip was kind of tough because we traveled a couple hours in the plane and the time difference. But they're the new teams, and I think they played really well both of the games, UCLA and USC. We managed UCLA pretty well, and we came back at the 5th set and then won. USC played really well, and we lost, but we learned what we are supposed to be better on. So I think it's a good lesson for us.
Zeynep, last year we got to see Kylie, who was so intense, but you just don't have a smile on your face when you're playing. Describe just the joy you have playing this game and the kind of leader you are and the kind of player.
I mean, I love to give energy to the team, jump around and just scream at people and just hype them. That's a player who I am, and this gives me energy too, and it makes me play better too. So yeah, Kylie is kind of, last year she was my mentor, she was my best friend. So I learned a lot from her. So I'm trying to get as better as her, and just working on myself and my abilities.
Who gives the best jump hug that you do?
Probably Julia. Julia was jump on me. So I was okay, yeah, let's go. So yeah.
When you made this commitment to come to Minnesota and now here you are, has it been as fun, as well of an experience as you thought it would be?
Yeah, I mean, I came here I knew about the program, but it was kind of like a question mark how it's gonna be like the cold and stuff because I never experienced it. But like the coaches, this like the staff and like my teammates, they were all like a family. So like when I like asked them like a couple times like what are you saying, like I don't know what that means, like they always answer my questions, like they never like I don't know, like I'm always like I feel like they're the family of mine here. Like I created a new family, new world, kinda. Like it's a new home for me, but like and also like I appreciate their help all the time. And like I'm just yeah, I love my teammates and my staff. Yeah.
School is in full swing now, and the season's in full swing. How have you been able to stay focused or help your teammates stay focused? Because there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, like we are traveling a lot, we are playing a lot of games, but I mean we're going to school in the morning and then come to practice and like we try to also have a social life, but I think as like team we are like a pretty good about this, and like we as soon as we get out of the practice we like kind of rest and then start to do our homework and like just like motivate each other. Like we sometimes study together in the AV and like yeah, it's just like we motivate each other and like we need to get good, we need to be better in grades. So like yeah, it's just like it's okay.
You talk about the challenges of this team improving serve receive. I know in some of the bigger matches that ended up biting you, but this team is a lot better than what you showed.
I mean, yeah, in Purdue game we had a couple problems about passing, but I think that week after the Purdue game we practiced a lot and like we worked on it. So I think in UCLA and USC games we were so much better than the Purdue game. So I think we improved ourselves in that.
Zeynep, you've been at the top or leading in digs per set. I know that's not the end all be all, but what is your mentality to just try and get to every ball you possibly can?
I think our rule is to like never give up. So I'm just trying to like take every ball, like dig every ball, and like it's not just because of me. Like the block is usually like so good, so like I can be like in the right position because the block is so good, and like my teammates are motivating me too. And like every practice, like as I dig better, they hit better. So as they hit better, I dig better. So it's just like we improve us each other pretty much. So yeah, this is how like we practice and like get better in hitting and also defense.
You can't do it all yourself, though. Like, is there any players that you've noticed that have gotten a lot better at that part of the game?
In defense? Yeah, I mean, I think like Melanie is like a very stable defender. Like she's a setter, but like she's so like stable and like she digs pretty well. And I think Lydia also started to like play in the back row, so I think she's getting better at defense too, and I think she's doing amazing. And Kate, of course, like we as like two defensive specialists, we are like helping each other and like we're always backing each other up. Also like Julia, Alex, they're pretty good, and like the people who are coming from the bench, they always like help us, and they're like doing as good as they can, and like I think they're doing an amazing game.
Anything else for Zeynep? All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
Julie, can you talk about the USC match? I know obviously you got off to a good start with UCLA, but what do you think happened there?
Yeah, you know, we came out strong, but then we kind of lost it in the third and fourth set. It wasn't the game that we wanted, and so this week in the gym we're really just going to work on passing, serving, setting, hitting, everything, and so we can really show this weekend who we are.
When you look at this team, I think you've played well on the road, but I think at home you've had some, the Wisconsin match comes to mind, but Purdue as well. Like, how excited are you to come back here, perform well like you did versus Wisconsin, and the fans here supported you in both matches? I think they were sold out, right?
Yeah, I love this gym. I love playing at home. So getting another opportunity, 2 opportunities this weekend is going to be really awesome. And obviously the last time we played at home, it didn't go our way. So we're really excited to be back and show our fans what we got.
Indiana and Maryland are both strong serving teams too. What's that transition been like for you when you are 6th rotation? You're seeing a lot of serve-receive action too, and just staying as steady as possible.
Yeah, the serves in all of college volleyball have gotten so much better. And I think one thing that helps me a lot is like our gym, when we're serving in practice, like we just go for it, and we have some of the hardest serves in the Big Ten as well. And so just being able to pass against Lydia, Melanie, Alex, everyone, every single day in the gym is really fun. And it's nice. It helps me in the big moments.
Julia, Coach talked about your responsibility is even heavier without McKenna out there. I know she's trying to come back, but in the meantime, where have you seen your game grow with that much responsibility?
Yeah, I don't. That's a hard question because obviously my responsibility is a lot more than it was last year, but I'm kind of just embracing it, and I don't really think too much about like, oh, I have now this role and this role to do, because I'm just out there playing with my best friends and enjoying it every single day, and so it's really not that hard because I love what we do.
You notice teams treating you a lot differently though in the beginning of the year than they are now.
Yeah, I would say in the beginning of the year I wasn't getting served at as much, and now I'm probably their main serving target, which is awesome because you can come at me and I'm gonna stay steady the whole match and I'm not gonna fall down. So I love it.
Zeynep was talking about how Melanie is so solid defensively, even as a setter. I mean, does that get talked about enough, or just describe for people like how hard it is to play that position, rack up the double doubles that she does and the digs that she does?
Yeah, and even the triple doubles. No, she is actually one of the best defenders as a setter that I've ever seen, like in this country for sure. I know like if she's getting hit at, she's gonna dig the ball and then Zeynep's gonna set it. She's gonna set a great out of system set. So I really don't think Melanie gets enough credit for her defense because, you know, I played right back last year and it's hard. It's really hard. So yeah, she doesn't get enough credit.
With a lot of 5-set matches, a ton of them, how does the team or you in general handle that sort of pressure of always being in like a do or die sort of situation?
You know, I don't know. We have lost, what, 1 game in 4 and the rest have gone to 5. We haven't been swept this year, and so just like we never give up. And we know in those 5th sets, like it's going to be hard. It's going to be a battle. It is a win or die situation. So I think we just go out with like the mindset of we're going to be competitive and we're going to do everything we can to play as a team and hopefully push out a win.
Julie, what have you seen from Lauren, who's kind of stepped in playing a larger role recently? Keegan talks about her being just an all-around player, but just like her size to the way she's contributed.
Yeah, Lauren's awesome. Every single day in practice, she's working so hard. Like she's one of the hardest workers on this team. And so seeing her perform in games and getting more opportunity is amazing because like Keegan said once, she's just very consistent in every part of her game. So we know if she's coming off the bench, if she's starting, like she's going to be an impact player for us on the court.
Anything else for Julia? All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.